Hello, everybody. We're back. We made it to another Sunday night. We are at Sister Wives, Season 17, Episode 6, Telling Truly. Now, I'm going to rename this episode. I'm going to rename it, I Got 99 Problems and an Asshat Ain't One. Child, I have to say, I did a video earlier this week about how hard it must have been for Christine to tell truly what was going on in her marriage with Kody. And as we know now, she is doing well. She is she's thriving and feeling great, and she's around family who loves her. But, of course, we are reviewing the show that's happening right now, even though we are really far behind. So let's just jump right into it. Although, before I jump right into it, I want to go ahead and say thank you to those of you who did subscribe. I am 3 people away from my goal of 100 subscribers by the time Sister Wives goes off tonight. Now, if you have not seen Sister Wives, you do not have Discovery Plus, please stop. Do not listen to this review if you don't want anything ruined. I know that there's probably information already out there, but I do not want to be the one to ruin anything for you. So if you have not seen Sister Wives yet, please stop. Don't listen to this review. All right, let's jump right in. Tonight, I'm going to dedicate this review to 2 things. I'm going to dedicate this review to the whisper voice and the backhand clap that Christine uses to tell Kody to move his stuff out of the garage. I'm also going to dedicate this review and recap to the awkward pause between Mary and Kody when she shows up to Janelle's 5th will and she says, hey, just sort of stops and looks at her. I'm going to dedicate it to those 2 things. First of all, Kody comes in and he's going to stop by to talk to Christine about telling Truly that they are getting a divorce. If you notice, in the background on her shelf, there's a few blocks that spell out the word pray. And child, did I. I think production for this show is brilliant. And they are brilliant at, first of all, capturing things that you really have to kind of notice in the background. But those things in the background are trolling Kody and kind of commenting on what is happening in the scene. And I think it is brilliant. So he walks through the door and he bellows, Christine! Now in the background of that, we see that she has a sign hanging by her door that says choose happy. Obviously that day, Kody did not. Kody says, I've been avoiding telling Truly, and he doesn't know how he feels about it. He also is living in this delusional world of maybe they will reconcile. So he's taking his time. He doesn't want to tell Truly yet. Are you kidding me? So in other words, what he's thinking is, I'm somehow hoping that Christine will fall and bump her head and forget that I have been an asshat to her and continue on in this systematic form of control that I have built. Or I will find a way to push that mind control reset button while she sleeps and reprogram her back to factory default settings. Either way, guys, this man is delusional and he just cannot deal with the fact that one of his wives has finally said, enough is enough. I am not going to take it anymore. Come on, man. Keep up. Just get with the program and realize she is Audi 5000. If you were born in the 80s, you know what that is. But she is out of there, and she wants no more to deal with you. So in all of his begging and pleading and trying to control the situation as he goes through his 5 stages of denial, he says that he wants to take Truly over to Robin's to spend time with him and that he doesn't know why he hasn't visited the girls. He guesses that he was, busy doing other things. Listen, busy doing other things. No, what you were doing, Kody, is you were sitting around and making excuses for why you couldn't visit your daughters. It was COVID. It was Robin doesn't want the kids to be around other kids. It was that your kids wanted to go back to school. Really, it was just that you wanted to spend time with Robin. You didn't think anybody was going to call you out on it. And so now somebody's saying, I call bullshit, and now you want to spend time with your child because you think that she somehow won't be able to take that you're separating. Now, if you have been listening to me, you know that starting last week, I started referring to my favorite housewife, the 4th wife, as sass. Because last week she was real sassy about all the things going on. So from now on, continuing on in this, if I say sass, you will know exactly who I'm talking about. So again, he does not know his daughter's age. He says, and I quote, "That's not crap I want a 10-year-old to have to deal with." But then Queen Christine pulls a true sister move and says, well, 11. But yeah, that's crap. I think she's a smart girl. I think that she'll be able to handle it. Man, when I tell you that I howled at the way she slipped her real age in there, I think he sort of felt it in his mind that he didn't know how old she was, but he's like, keep it together for the camera, keep it together. I pledge allegiance to Christine for real. Like, that woman is brilliant, and she is so done that there is no way he can trip her up. And when you're done, and you have finally gotten to the point of no return, ladies, agree with me. You know this is true. You can't shake us. You can't make us say something that we don't want to say. You can't draw us back in with your crap. We're done. We're done. So he wants to keep Christine there. Now, there is a moment in this where you think, oh, maybe there's just about 0.2% of him that really feels bad about her leaving. He's really starting to realize, man, I was not a good husband to her, right? And he wants her to stay. Well, if you wanted that, Kody, I don't know, you could have tried, being a good husband, right? But then that 0.2% passes by and we figure out the real reason that he wants her to stay. It's because the convenience for him is what's better. Truly would be right there next door. He could just drive over in his sports car or his big truck now and get her. But, it's not about Christine. It's about the convenience of being able to not have to drive very far or have Truly travel back far or all of that stuff. Now, he also says that he does want to take her over to Sass-Ass's house and we'll figure out getting her a bed or something like that. And Queen Christine pipes up again and says, yeah, I'd like a separate room for her. What are you thinking? Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, we'll work it out. Yeah, because whatever's good for Sass-Ass and her kids is good enough for Truly. That's exactly what I think she's thinking. So then they started talking about the relationship from a long time ago. So remember in the previous seasons that, she told you that there were problems. He says, I wish that she would have sat me down and talked to me about our problems before we got here. Yeah, you guys went to therapy together as a couple. You went to therapy as a group, and she showed you in one of the exercises where she stood. Does anybody remember that? Nancy led them in an exercise where she said, I want you to place yourself physically in this circle where you feel you fit in the group. And Christine decided to be honest in that moment and stood herself on the outside of the circle. She has talked to you about problems before. It has been proven. If you have not watched episodes of Sister Wives, go back, watch these episodes. It has been coming. She has been telling you that there were problems, honestly, since season 1, when she sat on the couch, again, the day that you dropped the bomb of picking Sass-Ass's wedding dress and said, you've got to step up. We chose you. You've got to step up. So I'm just going to go ahead and do something that I never thought I would do, and that would be to quote Sass-Ass. And she said to him, you're giving me freaking whiplash. I don't know if anybody remembered that, but they were discussing selling the homes and not selling the homes and everything to be selling the homes. And she goes, you're giving me freaking whiplash. That's how I feel when he talks about what he hears and doesn't hear and what she's talked about and what he hasn't heard. I can't even keep it all straight. So as a parting gift for Christine leaving, he offers her a part of the food storage. Now, food storage in their faith is to keep you ready so that if the second coming happens or there's a disaster, you have extra food. And she says, no, it's not mine. It's not mine. Now, I am not opposed to having extra food, especially because I live in Florida and we have hurricanes. And usually when you hear that a hurricane is coming, the grocery stores are wiped out. There is no anything. There's no food, no toilet paper. So having extra food is not a bad thing. But she says, I will not live in fear like that anymore. And I have to respect that. But I also think that it was the woman equivalent of saying, I want nothing from you, not even food. I don't want anything from you when I leave this relationship except our kids. That's all I want. I don't want your land. I don't want your food. I just want to take my child Work out how she's going to come back and see you. But I personally don't want anything from you. Or to quote Bernadine in Waiting to Exhale, get your shit and get out. That is exactly what she means. Mary only appears a few times in this episode, but it is more than she has appeared in other episodes. And she says that, no, she doesn't even have food storage. And that, she let Kody and Janelle come up to the B&B for free. And then she says, but they didn't get breakfast. Right? They stayed for free, but they did not get breakfast. So basically what she's saying is that they did not pay the $4,000 to $6,000 for the personal VIP treatment to stay at Lizzie's bed and breakfast. So they are not getting the breakfast. Now let's just stop for a minute and go back and realize that $4,000 to $6,000 to spend time with a woman who cannot get herself or chooses not to get herself out of a situation where she is told on the daily that she is not welcome. Get out of here. He even said it in this episode. I think Mary and I are doing really good. We're in a good place, but I don't think it's very fulfilling for Mary. It's not fulfilling for anyone, Kody. It's not. You give her just enough to make her think that y'all are friends or that you like her a little bit. I am not going to say that anyone who decides to spend this $4,000 to $6,000 is anything except who they want to be and doing what they do, living their best life. It would not be me. But of course, this trip up to Lizzie's Heritage Inn had to be cut short because, well, Sass has him on a short leash and he has to get home and test because he can't be away from Sass and Sass Juniors for more than about 48 hours. Otherwise, they get all antsy and stuff. Now, I do have a quick question. This is kind of off topic, but just a little nugget and a little bit of something I noticed. Does this entire family own black and white polka dot shirts? I swear, go back and look over like the past few episodes, okay? We have seen Christine in a black polka dot shirt. We have seen Janelle in a black polka dot shirt. And now we see Kody in a black polka dot shirt. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say that maybe Mary has one and we haven't seen it yet. And I actually think that probably the whole family doesn't own it because it would be really fashion forward for Sass. So never mind. I just kind of answered my own question. They don't all own them, but I think probably 4 out of the 5 people own them. Anyway, getting back on track. Kody said that most of his time that he spends with Isabel is spent drawing her out of herself. Now, I think that's probably Kody because you have to call her names like bitter old housewife. Or, I don't know, you choose your other kids, the little ones, over her. And you really kind of didn't make her a priority during, I don't know, the biggest surgery of her life. Let's hope that this is the only big surgery that this young, beautiful girl ever has to go through. But on the other hand, your dad wasn't there for it. Wow, but you spend your time having to draw her out of herself. Well, that's what dads do. Dads make that a priority, to draw their daughters out, to find out what gets them to the core of their daughters. They continue to do that until they break through. Only those dads who don't have the skills walk away with their hands in the air and say, oh, I don't know. I don't know. So then they go on to spend their time with someone else. I have to say, if I ever wanted to hug a child on a reality TV show, Isabel is it. Because listening to her say that her relationship with her dad is just all right and that it's not very close and that, of course, she's going to miss her mom more than her dad. It was just really sad and it was really telling. And I have to say that when he watches this back, if he has any bit of caring and love for that little girl, it's going to hit him. It may not hit him tonight, may not hit him next week, but sometime in his life, he's going to wish that he had done more to make the most of all of the relationships, not just the relationships that he chooses because the wife, as the mother of those kids that he's giving attention to, is obedient or makes things comfortable for him. It's not about comfort once you have children. It's about making sure that those children that you make are well taken care of. And sometimes that's a sacrifice of yourself. I mean, my mom sacrificed herself for me. And if I'm ever blessed with children, I just know that going in because I made the choice. So everyone begins. We're out at Coyote Pass, and we're looking at an up-close look at Janelle's fifth will. And everyone is showing up, including Sass and her little ones. Christine is being really bright and happy, but the look on Savannah's face, if you notice, just look at her face in the background as she's standing next to Janelle. It just screams, does anyone have an extra room I can stay in? That is what her face said to me. But she was really being a trooper and showing everyone around, right? Now, as she's showing everyone around, she's feeling really proud about the fact that she has this room and she can have some privacy, and she's showing them the bathroom. Now, Sass Jr. makes a comment about the bathroom being the size of a foot bath. Really? You just keep your mouth shut, Miss I live in $1 million home. Get out of here. You see the sacrifice that this woman is making to try to bring you and your family together, and all you can say is, this looks like the size of a foot bath. Wow. But on top of that, because that's not the worst, Kody then says, I will probably never use this bathroom. I will shower somewhere else. Wonder where that would be. Oh, that's probably where there's hot water. But here's the gotcha. There's also hot water at Mary's house. Bet you ain't going there to shower. And you better hope the cold water ain't all you get to have at Robin's house at some point. Uh-oh. Looks like you'll be out of luck. So then Sass says, I want to run and hide from this conversation. Go ahead. Go. Run. Hide. Never come out. Go. Nobody's probably going to miss you except for one person and those that you birthed. Feel free, leave. And she says, I keep praying for them, that this will bring Janelle and Kody together, or, maybe it'll, tear them apart, she never knows what she's saying. It's like she doesn't look at herself or listen to herself and realize that she just seems like a bumbling fool a lot of the times in this situation. I somehow don't think you're praying for them at all, Robin. I really don't. I think you're just praying for everybody, yeah, aren't you? You're just praying for the whole family, right? And it seems like those prayers aren't going any higher than those eyebrows, girl. They are not going any higher than those eyebrows. So then Christine reveals how she had to tell Truly. Now, this was really sad because, of course, she said she was on the phone. She was talking to McKelty about being excited to move. She heard a gasp behind her, and it was little Truly. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that because I did do another video on it. But we can see now that Truly, like I said, she's doing well. She has a lot of love around her. And honestly, I applaud Christine for really tackling those tough questions that Truly asked her. Are you getting a divorce? Yes, and we already have. For asking her, is it okay? How are you doing? Those are things that you absolutely have to ask your children. Asking her, do you notice a change from any other time between your dad and I? And Truly being able to go, no, I don't really notice a change. That was the greatest comment. It was also the saddest, because if your parents are going through a hard time and you don't notice a change of their interaction, something is wonderful because you're keeping up your end of the bargain to protect her. But there's also something about that seems real off in the fact that you don't even see them interacting any differently. So she doesn't even know there's a problem. And there really is. So nothing that he does has changed over a long period of time. It's both sad and great, I guess. I'm not divorced. I can't profess to know exactly what that's like, except to hear what my friends have said about it if they've gone through it. And now to be watching this on TV, so I don't know. So, that's kind of all I have for the episode. But what I will say is that they then show an upcoming episode. Now, Kody has had these strict COVID rules that have kept him from traveling to see people or traveling with his daughter to her surgery or helping her move to go to college. But we see him traveling on a road trip to Texas to what could be a super spreader wedding. Now, I am by no means calling this friend's wedding a super spreader event, but, for him to be so strict about those COVID rules, this would be language that I think Kody and Sass would have taken into their vocabulary. Super spreader. We shouldn't be around a lot of people at an event like a wedding because we could get sick. But he's driving to Texas. Man. Well, that's all I got. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to know when I'm uploading new content. I'm sorry. Again, I am 3 people away from 100 subscribers. I'm going to dream big here because this is just for me and it's for a hobby. And I would love for this thing to grow because it's just awesome and it's awesome to do. I'm going to dream big and hope for 300 subscribers in the next week. 300, right? Gotta dream big or go home. Slow and steady wins the race. If there's something that you want to do, step out, take a chance, live your best life, and do it for you. And that's exactly what I'm doing. There is enough room for everybody. Don't let anybody stop you. See you in my next video. Bye.